So, hello everybody. I'm going to, So I will present something about teaching about migration using a GeoCapabilities approach, vignettes as a way for teachers to connect with disciplinary knowledge. So this paper were prepared with Luke Schwartz and me, but Luke is sorry he can't be here today. Thank you. The presentation is contracted in 3 parts. So why talking about migration? I will go very fast on that point because we have already talked about that. What is a vignette and how teachers use and write vignettes in order to teach powerful knowledge. So I'm sorry, there's a problem with the...
Hit the second button.
Okay, okay. So why talking about migration? Migration is actually a burning issue in most European countries. So it was a relevant topic to go further on social justice and GeoCapabilities, especially because a part of our pupils involved in the project are migrants or son of migrants, so they are personally concerned by the topic. That's why migration seems relevant to go to question social justice and GeoCapabilities. It's also a field of inquiry for students and teachers. So what is a vignette? So a vignette is an example of powerful knowledge important on a topic. It's written by teacher before the lesson. So it's to help them to prepare the lesson. And so it's written, and sometimes there's an illustration or document to help readers to understand the content of the vignette. So it is based on powerful knowledge. I will also go very quick on that point. So what is a powerful knowledge? It's content related to geographical knowledge. It's also conceptual geographical knowledge and procedural geographical knowledge. And it helps us to think about what is important to teach on a specific topic. So powerful knowledge is helpful to go to Future 3 curriculum. So the Future 3 curriculum is the last one. It's not a curriculum based on only content and factual knowledge. This is Future 1. It's not a curriculum based on shift from knowledge to learn, so on skills and only competence without disciplinary knowledge. The Future 3 is knowledge in dynamic and related to disciplinary knowledge to think geographically. So all the project is based to the Future 3 on a Future 3 perspective. So we try to help teachers to write vignettes, and one of our difficulty was to make the difference between vignette and artifact. An artifact is a document that has been selected or made by the teacher because it's relevant in terms of powerful knowledge. So it's relevant to help students to learn the powerful knowledge. A vignette can have an artifact are two separate things, but sometimes vignettes contain a document that will become during the lesson an artifact. That's why sometimes we make a confusion between vignette and artifact, but it's two separate things. So on our project, teachers wrote several vignettes. All the vignettes are actually available on GeoCap 3 website. And as you see, most of vignettes as an illustration or a map or most of time it's a map or an image to illustrate the content of the vignette. So then I will take more time to explain which vignette the teacher wrote on GeoCap 3 project. So Tine Beneka has just said that the expert identified 3 important ideas to teach migration. That is a dynamic phenomenon, that it is transnational. All the countries are concerned by migration, not only the receiving countries, and that it's also concerned all the population, not only the poor one who are running out from poorness and war and so on. So if we keep in mind those key ideas, we can see that most of the vignettes written by the teachers are focused on 1 or 2 main ideas identified by the experts. So, for instance, so I can't point. So the vignettes on the back of the slide are focused on the idea that the majority of population are concerned by migration, migrations flows in the world, knowledge network in the study of migration. Where are you from, or where are you at home? Human rights for all, migration from UK. I will talk about this vignette specifically after. So all those vignettes are focused on the idea of migration is a global process, and it is for everybody. Everybody all around the world are concerned. Then you can see also the idea of transnationalism, and that the fact that migration are dynamic, especially on the vignettes migration and organization of space, border right to mobility, the idea that the mobility is one of our human rights, and it's not only a question of a matter of law. And a lot of teachers were also two team of teachers were also focused on the representation of migration, with 2 vignettes representing migration and image of migration on the media. So the vignette, as I already said, is written before the lesson, but in fact, it's a very strong thing for teachers to define them first, the content of their lesson, the powerful knowledge they want to teach, and also the way, so how they will teach that. So it is on the first step to teach the plan, but it has a lot of impact on the act and on teachers and pupils' activities. So I will take 2 examples. The first one, this is a vignette written by French teachers from an high school in Paris suburbs. So it's a poor suburbs, and this vignette tried to point out that we have a misconception about migration, that Europe is the main is the place where every migrant wants to be, and that Europe is invited by migrants. Of course, is statically false. It's false. So how can we, what are the powerful knowledge behind against this misconception? And this vignette trying to point out that there's 2.4 million of migrants from non-European countries, and that the European countries appears in the media as overflow from migrants. So it tried to show that it's false, and how can we discuss about that in geography. So then teachers were aware that that they have to take care about the maps they will use and also the content of their lesson. And they all decided to use image to teach migration, but they changed the image they used. Normally, most of the time, they use image coming from textbooks, and most of them are media image. They are coming from journals or a TV show, and they are focused on patterns. They are not focused on an important idea to teach. So they have decided to change the image they use, and they use comics, political cartoons, and also photo language, trying to change the students' mind to think about migration, and trying to be aware that Europe is not the main focus for migration, and all countries are concerned. So this is another example from the United Kingdom, and this one is so it's based on another idea, on the idea that British people are also migrants. So not only it's not only receiving countries, but it's also a country who send their population all around the world. So I think the idea, the main point is quite near from the next vignette. It's trying to show that migration concerns all the country, even the richest, one of the richest country in the world. And based on that vignette, the teacher has decided to take a three-part lesson. What is migration, and why might it call a crisis? And he tried to show that there's no real migrant crisis actually. Why is it driving migration, and what's the impact of migration? As you can see in the lesson plan, it is based on the three ideas that Tien Benneker showed before my presentation. So all the vignette process showed that it helped teachers to be focused, to be more focused on the powerful knowledge they have to teach. We interviewed teachers at the end of the project, and they all said that it helped them to be focused on one or two concepts, the main one, and to organize the content around those concepts. And for them, it was more relevant to make some choice in the pedagogy they used after. It was helpful also to discuss with other teachers and with a researcher and to choose to have them to be focused on the powerful knowledge and on the procedural knowledge they want to teach. So for them, it was very helpful, and it is changed. That depends on the country. In some country, the writing vignettes is really new. For instance, I think in the United Kingdom, but in some other countries, it was less new because the curriculum process is quite near to the GeoCap 3 approach, to the GeoCap approach. But it was still very interesting to cooperate and to take time to discuss about a topic. And to conclude, so all the presentations are available on the website. And to conclude, I will say that all the teachers who were interviewed think that it's very helpful to use GeoCap approach in a citizenship education perspective, because it helps students to make link between the geography lesson and the world in which they lived. Thanks for your attention.